He is the world's richest man alive. He possesses immense prestige, power, and billions of dollars. But what does the world's richest man, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, do with his billions? He, of course, lives a lavish and extravagant life. Well, one does not expect any less when you have around $180 billion stacked in your bank account. In fact, he is one of the United States' biggest landowners, with about 5 mansions across the country. But Jeff is also known to spend a fortune on larger-than-life worldly possessions. Let's check out some of the outrageously expensive things the world's richest man has. Here are the 10 most expensive things owned by Jeff Bezos. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Number 10. A clock that will work till the end of time. Time and art surely make a wonderful pair. You wouldn't believe that Bezos invested a whopping $42 million in making a clock that will run for 10,000 years. Jeff Bezos invested in this in order to have the means to embody the abstract longevity of time itself. The clock will be extremely simple in design, modest in materials, and easy to maintain. Although the clock hasn't yet been finished, Bezos expects it to be one of the most unique wonders for dozens of future generations to enjoy. It is being constructed on a mountain in Texas. The clock will tick once a year, marking time over the next 10,000 years. The clock is an art installation. It is intended as a monument to long-term thinking, meant to inspire its visitors to be mindful of their place in the long arc of history. Jeff fondly calls it the 10,000-year clock. Well, we would call it a masterpiece. Number 9. A 143-year-old newspaper. Jeff acquired the Washington Post, which is one of the leading newspapers in the US. In October 2013, the paper's longtime controlling family, the Graham family, sold the newspaper to Nash Holdings, a holding company established by Jeff Bezos, for $250 million in cash. The deal ended the Graham family's 4-generation run of managing the newspaper. The Washington Post is an ancient newspaper dating back to 1877, adapting and transforming to fit the modern era. Nowadays, the Post is primarily a popular online news source, featuring reliant information and a touch of tradition. Originally, Jeff wasn't interested in the newspaper business. However, Donald Graham, the son of the Washington Post's legendary publisher Katharine Graham, convinced Bezos that the Post could use someone with total mastery of the internet in this day and age. Under Bezos, the newspaper continues to thrive and grow. The Washington Post is now seen as a steal for one of the great brands in publishing. Number 8. Amazon Spheres. The Amazon Spheres are 3 spherical conservatories that comprise part of the Amazon headquarters campus in Seattle, Washington, United States. Designed by NBBJ and landscape firm Site Workshop, the 3 glass domes are covered in pentagonal, hexacantahedron panels and serve as an employee lounge and workspace. The campus, owned by Bezos, is spread over 4 downtown blocks. The spheres have 40,000 plants from 50 countries and are divided into 3 areas, with the western and eastern domes segregated into the Old World and New World. The structures are also the architectural crown jewel of Amazon's $4 billion investment in building an urban campus, an eye-catching landmark that symbolizes the rise of what 20 years ago was a fledgling online bookstore into global e-commerce and cloud computing leviathan. Rivers, waterfalls, and towering green walls are meant to take Amazon's employees into a headspace as serene as the tropical forest the foliage tries to replicate. Number 7. A lake house in Seattle. Bought by Bezos in 1998, it reportedly cost him $10 million. This property, based in the tiny city of Medina, is a 5.3-acre estate that houses 2 residences, a 20,600 square foot, 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom space, and an 8,300 square foot, 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom home. The property then underwent a $28 million renovation in 2010, around which time Bezos bought the 24,000 square foot house next door, which was rumored to have sold for at least $53 million. It is an arrangement with the 2 houses joined together. The house, which sits on the shores of Lake Washington, includes 310 feet of private shoreline and a boathouse. The serene Medina, located on a peninsula across Lake Washington from Seattle, is an exclusive suburb that is also home to Bill Gates, other Microsoft bigwigs, tech entrepreneurs, and telecoms magnates. Mind you, this secretive and exclusive suburb is located just across Lake Washington from Seattle, where the median home value is over $2.7 million US. Number 6. Condos in New York. In addition to being Bill Gates' neighbor and owning the biggest home in DC, Bezos just had to get his hands on some New York real estate as well. Bezos bought 4 apartments in the Flatiron condo, 212 Fifth Avenue in New York City for a total of a whopping $96 million. The first 3 purchases were made for $80 million, the largest apartment deal to ever close in NYC. He then bought another one for $16 million and combined all of them into one massive penthouse. All the units, plus a 5,000 square foot terrace combined, means Bezos has literally created a 23,000 square foot 3-story mansion starting from the 20th floor. The apartments boast of 15 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms lined with Italian marble, and huge expanses of open living areas. Currently, Bezos owns about 7 homes sprawled all over the country, which, coupled with his private jet, guarantees he will always have a home to stay at on the fly. Number 5. The largest house in DC. For a man like Jeff Bezos, one house is of course nowhere near enough. To spice things up, he purchased the largest house in Washington, D.C. at a whopping $23 million. The gigantic mansion used to be a textile museum, and features a bold, extravagant exterior, perfect for a man of Bezos' stature. After the purchase, Bezos spent an additional $12 million to make the biggest residence in DC even bigger. He plans to have 25 bathrooms, 11 bedrooms, 3 kitchens, and 1 giant ballroom in order to host the best party there ever was. Not stopping at this, Jeff also bought the 4-bedroom detached home across the street for a modest $5 million to protect his privacy, as it had a direct view into his mansion across the street. Bezos sincerely wants his DC home to be the center of social extravagance, and it looks like his wish is granted. Number 4. Most expensive property in the Los Angeles. Jeff Bezos made headlines for buying the most expensive property in Los Angeles. The expansive mansion, which cost Bezos $245 million, was 5 times more than what the previous owner paid for it in the 1990s. Known as the Warner Estate, which spreads out over 9 acres in Beverly Hills, the property was designed back in the 1930s for Jack Warner, the former president of Warner Brothers. It took workers almost a decade to construct and comes complete with terraces, guest houses, a tennis court, and even a golf course. Number 3. Gulfstream G650ER. For someone like Jeff Bezos, a private jet seems like a necessity more than a luxury. After all, being the richest and arguably one of the most important people in the world does mean that you must be able to travel at a moment's notice. Bezos bought one of the world's best private jets for $65 million. Not only is the Gulfstream G650ER one of the fastest in the world, but is also decked out to resemble a Michelin-starred restaurant more than a plane. Number 2. Blue Origin. To cater to his passion for the potential of space travel, Jeff started the aerospace company Blue Origin, dedicated to exploring the possibilities of commercial travel to space. This commercial rocket factory is definitely one of the pricier things that Jeff owns because he sells more than $1 billion of Amazon stock per year to fund Blue Origin. Since its creation, Blue Origin has developed technologies to aid in space travel and ran dozens of test launches to varying degrees of success. Bezos runs the company with the hope of making space travel affordable for regular customers. Number 1. Amazon. Although Jeff isn't the sole owner of Amazon, his beefy 11% stake worth more than $170 billion surely makes it the most expensive thing he owns. He recently became the first billionaire in modern history to cross the $200 billion mark, as the shares of Amazon rose to a new high. As the founder of the multi-billion-dollar online market, Bezos takes more than $100 billion of the share. The share of the e-com giant has surged over 80% since the beginning of the year, as coronavirus ravaged the world and people resorted to online shopping to avoid going out. This has also led to an around $86 billion elevation in Jeff Bezos' wealth in the past year alone. Bezos continues to invest and develop within the site, boosting the value every year. Given how successful Amazon is today, it's hard to believe that it started off as a dingy online bookstore out of Jeff Bezos' garage. So what do you think? Out of the things we have seen on this list, which amazes you the most? Would you ever fancy owning any of these? Do let us know in the comments below. And please do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notifications bell for more interesting videos. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye until next time.